Bull, you sent me this topic this morning. We're going to skip the AL Central, AFC North. Let's go with the Guardians, and you can set this one up.
So it's not set in stone yet who's playing in the matchup that will eventually play against the Guardians because, A, the Guardians could still end up as the 1 seed. That's possible. It's unlikely, but
they
it's
have
possible.
to win
Guardians have
two more games than the Yankees this weekend.
That's right. So the Guardians.
So if the Yankees win 2, we're out.
Yankees win 2, they lock
up the top seed. If they win none or 1, we can do it.
We could do it with a sweep or 2 of 3.
Yeah.
And they're playing the Pirates who stink,
yeah.
but they do have Paul Skeens pitching tomorrow.
Which helps.
And they have Jarrett Jones, who's another good young pitcher, pitching today. So we'll see. But probably the Guardians are going to be the 1 seed.
The 2 seed.
I'm sorry, the 2 seed. On the other side, Minnesota is still mathematically alive for the playoffs, but their elimination number is 1. So they're probably not going to make the playoffs.
They have to win all 3. Detroit has to lose all 3.
Or Kansas City. One of the two has to lose all 3.
You're right.
Which will probably not. Detroit's playing the White Sox, by the way.
That's
now, Kansas City's playing Atlanta, I believe, so you never know.
Although Chicago is staving off 121.
They're playing
like they're a playoff team.
They are for now. But Minnesota's falling apart. I think they'll lose tonight. They lost a game in 13 innings last night. By the way, Carlos Santana got picked off at second base in the 13th inning.
Awful.
That was bad.
Can't happen.
But the question is, the 3 teams that the Guardians are most likely to play when they start their second-round series a week from Saturday is the teams they're going to play is either the Astros, the Royals, or the Tigers. Now, I think the Tigers are going to end up as the 5 seed because I think they'll sweep the White Sox or at least win 2 out of 3. But we'll put them in there for now. Astros, Royals, Tigers. Those are the 3 teams you could play in the next round. So what's your preference, guys? Who do you want to play?
Royals.
You want the Royals?
I want the Royals.
How come the Royals?
Because I think that from the time that they caught the Guardians,
yeah,
you remember they won, I think, 2 out of the first 2 or 3 of the first 3. I can't remember if that was.
I think it was 3 of the first 4. I think that's what it was.
Well, they lost the last game in the series, so
yes.
they took the first 3.
Yes.
And they pulled even with the Guardians, and the sky was falling here in Cleveland.
Yes.
People thought, "Oh my God, we're done. We're done."
Yeah.
And since that point, they've gone completely in the tank, and the Guardians have completely found their stride. That win the next day, when they were tied, and then the Guardians came back and beat them the next day to go up 1 game.
Yeah.
That started it for both teams.
That's right.
Since that point, the Guardians are like 7 or 8 over 500, and the Royals are 7 or 8 under 500. It's just so I think now Detroit scares the hell out of me, Bull.
I want to play Detroit.
I don't, and here's why.
There's 2 reasons.
If you lose to the Tigers, it's worse than losing to anybody else. They're more our dreaded rival first cousin than the Royals are. They just are. I know the Royals are in our division, but they're the Tigers. And we've looked at them over the last couple of years as the little sisters of the poor.
Right.
I cannot have a series where the Tigers end the Guardians season this year. They traded people at the deadline. They were sellers.
Yeah.
But Schoolball, I don't want to see him twice in a short series.
That's the number 1 reason.
That to me is my number 1. But I also don't want to lose to the Tigers.
Now let me make it clear. I am actually picking the Astros, believe it or not.
What? I want no parts of them.
Even though they're the experienced team,
I done dropped my phone.
I don't think the Astros. I think the Astros are. Outside of there was a stretch in like July, early August
where they got hot
really well. Outside of that, they've been a completely middling nothing team all year.
Yeah, both to start the season and to end the season.
Yes, I think their lineup is living on reputation. It's not what it once was.
That's fair.
I think their starting rotation is not very good. Verlander has looked like a mess.
Whoa. That's Verlander.
I don't care. He's 43 years old.
I've never.
Yeah, but if he finds the fountain of youth again before the playoffs,
let me make it clear that I think all 3 of those teams are pretty close, and I'm expecting the Guardians to beat any of those 3.
I am too.
I am expecting it, and I want
them in the ALCS.
But if I had to say, I would definitely be with you. I do not want the Tigers because, number 1, they're the hottest team right now.
They are.
They're like. I mean, they were like 10 games under 500.
Not just in the division, in baseball.
Oh, in baseball.
But guys, listen.
Yeah.
The Astros have pedigree.
I hear you.
The Astros.
And that means something in October.
The Astros home field advantage is a thing.
It is.
When you go to Houston,
that is
a
they
tough
can't use
place.
the garbage cans anymore.
Hey, but it's a tough.
That's why it was
a tough
a
place to play.
Yeah, but the crowd is good.
The crowd is good.
It is.
It's a hitter's ballpark. I don't like the fact.
Yeah, but
you know what? Gee, I'm going to throw something at you. Okay, last year coming into the playoffs, and we were having the same conversation.
Yeah.
Who said, "Well, the Rangers scare the hell out of me"? Nobody really thought that.
Yeah.
The Rangers were too young and too dumb to know what they didn't know.
That's right.
Right.
And they got in the playoffs, and because everybody was probably overlooking them in each series they played, they never lost a road game,
And
which
by
is still
the-
one of the
right.
most incredible
And by
things
the
I've
way,
ever
you-
seen.
you think
Tiger fans,
They're playing with the same house money.
they didn't expect to be in the playoffs.
No.
They haven't been in the playoffs in years. Their fans are going to be so excited.
So are they the Rangers of this year? They could
They
be.
could be. And you said the first thing. This is the biggest thing. It's a 5-game series.
Yeah, you got to beat the
I got to
Cy Young
assume
twice,
I'm going to lose.
or
Well, you
once,
don't have
once.
to. But if you don't, you got to
don't,
win all 3.
You've got no
besides that.
safety net.
That guy's the best pitcher in baseball right now.
He is.
If it's a 7-game series, all right. The rest of their pitchers are.
Now, have you looked at his splits against the Guardians?
I have not.
I haven't either. Mike.
Yeah.
Could you look at Scooble's splits against the? I don't know that I think he's only faced us once or twice.
Yeah.
But I think
I was
we've
at
seen
one of
him.
the games. I'll pull it up right now. Hold on.
I mean, he has not had one awful start the whole year.
No, which is
his worst
odd.
starts have been like 6 innings, 4 runs. Like,
Yeah.
If the Guardians get 4 runs, that should be game time.
Should be.
Yeah, but
Were you guys watching what the bullpen had done over 2 games? They had retired 31 straight hitters.
Yeah.
The Guardians bullpens.
Yeah.
The bullpen, it was a bullpen game on Tuesday. They had a perfect game to start the 7th inning.
Jay, just the one start against the Guardians this
Okay.
year.
How'd he pitch?
6
remember.
strikeouts, 1 walk, 10 hits. That was the game.
10 hits?
The only run he allowed was the Austin Hedges bunt. It was the game I was
They
at.
got
10
10
they
hits
got
off
10
of
hits
him
off him.
and
He
scored
did get
once?
10 hits off Scooble, yeah.
That's
all
insane.
singles, essentially.
And listen, y'all told me, listen, if you plan him, you already know we going to the bullpen after 3 innings, 2 innings.
Yeah.
You could be bullpen cats after the 3rd inning. So
You can't do that on multiple days.
but
though. That's
no.
an emergency. If your starter gives up 3 or 4 runs, yes.
But
I don't think that's a plan going into any single game.
Listen, I would have it in my. If you going against the best pitcher in baseball, I cannot lose to you the opening game. The Guardians have to win game 1. They have to.
By the way, speaking of the bullpen, one other stat. I mentioned this yesterday. Jay, you'll appreciate this stat. You weren't here either, G. So I went and looked this up myself. So Emmanuel Clase has 47 saves this year, which is a crazy number.
His save Tuesday was nuts.
Bases loaded, nobody out gets out.
I know.
91 saves the last 2 years. There's only been, so I'll give you the first one. In the history of this franchise, there have been 333 pitchers that have gotten at least 1 save. 333 pitchers in Guardians/Indians franchise history that have gotten a save. Now, one of those 333 is, of course, Emmanuel Clase. So we take him out.
They didn't always count that stat.
No, it's been an official stat since 1969.
Yeah, exactly.
They started kind of talking about it in the 60s. It became official in 69.
Right.
So it's only, 55 years.
Yeah.
55 years. So 333 guys in 55 years have at least 1 save. We take him out. So there's 332 other guys. Only 10 of the 332 other players that have gotten at least 1 save as a member of the Cleveland Indians/Guardians have more saves in their Indians/Guardians career than he had this season.
That's crazy.
Only 10. And by the way, if he gets 2 more, it'll only be 9 because then he'll pass Steve Olin.
Wait, what was that? Mike was saying something.
If he gets 2 more, he passes Steve Olin, so there'll only be 9.
That's crazy.
The Guardians only have about, I want to say 7 closers in their history that have had 90-plus saves. He's got 91 in 2 years.
It's crazy.
91.